Jonathan Clay J.J. Redick has spent 2 decades at the center of basketball culture, transforming himself from a college sharpshooter into a respected NBA veteran, then reinvigorating his public profile as a media voice and finally ascending to one of the most scrutinized roles in the sport, head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. As of now, Redick's estimated net worth is approximately $50 million. This figure reflects not just the earnings from his 15-year NBA career, but also the strategic way he diversified his post-playing life through podcasting, television commentary, brand development, business investments, and coaching. Redick represents a rare archetype, the athlete who retires, reinvents himself in media, and then reinvents himself again in coaching, each time rising quickly to the top of the field. His financial success stems from long-term planning, selective partnerships, rather than volume endorsements, and his reputation as a disciplined professional with an eye for modern basketball analytics and storytelling. But before Redick became the consummate hybrid figure of player-pundit coach that he embodies today, he was a lanky, intense kid in Tennessee learning how to channel emotion into precision. Early life. J.J. Redick was born June 24, 1984, in Cookeville, Tennessee, before his family relocated to Roanoke, Virginia, where his basketball identity solidified. His upbringing blended athletics, creativity, and structure. His father, Ken Redick, played collegiate basketball at Ohio Wesleyan University before building a career as a potter, a discipline grounded in patience, technical repetition, and craft. His mother, Jeannie Redick, balanced the household with a steadying presence that enhanced the competitive environment rather than restricting it. Redick grew up one of 5 siblings, and competition was the family's default setting. His older twin sisters, Katie and Alyssa, were standout basketball players who advanced to collegiate careers. Their influence on young JJ was foundational. They introduced him to the rhythms of competitive training, the meaning of relentlessness, and the understanding that basketball demanded more than talent. It required temperament. His younger sister, Abigail, also played college basketball, while his brother, David, briefly pursued college football. In this household, athletic expectations were not imposed but absorbed, as natural as breathing. The nickname JJ emerged from a family joke. When his sisters were small, they called him Jay, but repeated it so often that the single syllable became a doubled shorthand. The name stuck, becoming a brand long before Redick had a career to anchor it. Redick attended Cave Spring High School in Roanoke, where he became a regional star. He developed the early outlines of his signature game, a relentless conditioning routine, constant motion without the ball, and a level of shooting accuracy that seemed almost mechanical. His intensity was both his greatest weapon and greatest challenge. Even at a young age, he had to learn how to manage the emotional charge he brought to competition. Academically, Redick was an invested student with a genuine curiosity about history and global cultures. This intellectual bent would later color his media career, giving him a unique voice compared to his contemporaries. His recruiting profile soared nationally, and by the early 2000s, he was one of the most sought-after high school players in the country. He committed to Duke University, a decision that set in motion one of the most memorable college careers in modern NCAA history. Personal life. In June 2010, Redick married Chelsea Kilgore, a fitness professional and instructor who had supported him through the early phases of his NBA career. Their marriage has been consistently described as grounded, stable, and mutually supportive, a rarity in professional sports. Chelsea, who has a twin sister named Kylie, has often been a quiet backbone behind Redick's public success. Together, the couple has 2 sons, Knox, born 2014, and Kai, born 2016. Redick, who spent much of his early NBA life consumed by training, travel, and competition, has frequently said that fatherhood reshaped his priorities far more dramatically than retirement or career transition ever did. Redick has also been open about his Christian faith, which he expresses through understated devotion rather than public proclamation. He has several tattoos referencing biblical texts, manifestations of his belief, but also reflections of his search for balance and purpose through what became an emotionally demanding career. Beyond family and faith, Redick invested heavily in media, becoming one of the most influential basketball communicators of his generation. His podcast, The Old Man and the Three, became an industry leader, characterized by insightful interviews, rigorous basketball analysis, and a tone that blended intellectual inquiry with athlete-to-athlete candor. He co-founded 342 Productions, expanding from podcasting into documentary and sports content development. This media success made Redick more than a retired NBA player. It made him a cultural figure whose voice shaped debates about modern basketball strategy, player empowerment, analytics, and the evolution of the NBA game. Professional career. NBA playing career 2006 to 2021. J.J. Redick entered the 2006 NBA draft as one of the most polarizing college prospects of his era. He was drafted 11th overall by the Orlando Magic, who saw in him the potential to stretch the floor at a professional level and disrupt defenses with constant motion. Redick's rookie years were challenging. He had to rebuild his strength, conditioning, and defensive adaptability to fit in the NBA ecosystem. But by the time he found his rhythm, he became one of the league's most respected shooters. Redick's game was not built on athletic superiority. Instead, he relied on precision, timing, and IQ. He dominated through conditioning, footwork patterns, and an almost obsessive dedication to shooting mechanics. Over 15 seasons, Redick played for Orlando Magic, Milwaukee Bucks, Los Angeles Clippers, Philadelphia 76ers, New Orleans Pelicans, and Dallas Mavericks. Redick made 1,953 pointers, placing him among the most prolific long-range shooters in league history. His influence was substantial during a transitional era when the NBA was moving toward pace and space systems, and specialized shooters became essential to roster construction. His peak statistical season came in 2015-16, when he led the NBA in three-point percentage at 47.5%, an extraordinary clip in an era defined by high-volume shooting. Redick also set a career high with 40 points in a game for the Clippers, showcasing that he could be more than a role player when needed. Retirement and media career, 2021 to 2024. In September 2021, Redick announced his retirement. The move surprised some fans, but felt inevitable to insiders. Lingering injuries, shifting priorities, and the desire to spend more time with his family pushed him away from the grind of the NBA schedule. Immediately after retirement, Redick entered broadcasting, signing with ESPN. His articulate delivery, deep strategic knowledge, and willingness to challenge traditional narratives earned him rapid promotions. He became a regular presence on marquee broadcasts and debate panels, often offering nuanced counterpoints to established sports personalities. But Redick's true media breakthrough was his podcasting empire. The Old Man and the Three became a cornerstone of player-driven sports content. His long-form interviews with stars, coaches, and executives reshaped how fans consumed basketball narratives. Redick demonstrated an ability to speak both the language of athletes and the language of analysts, a rare dual fluency. This media reputation eventually became one of the factors that propelled him into coaching. Head coaching career 2024-present. In June 2024, the Los Angeles Lakers appointed Redick as their head coach. It was a bold hire. Redick had never coached professionally at any level, yet his basketball mind and communication skills were undeniable. The Lakers' choice reflected a shift in modern coaching philosophy. Organizations began prioritizing communication, adaptability, and analytical fluency over traditional coaching pedigrees. Redick fit this mold precisely. His first season exceeded expectations. He led the team to a 50-32 record, restored discipline to the roster, and implemented an offensive system built on spacing principles, rapid decision-making, and high-efficiency transition play. Players consistently praised his clarity, emotional intelligence, and ability to break down film in ways that resonated with modern athletes. In September 2025, Redick signed a contract extension with the franchise, a clear endorsement that the Lakers believed they had secured their long-term architect. College career. Redick's basketball mythology was forged at Duke University, where he played from 2002 to 2006 under legendary coach Mike Krzyzewski. Redick became the embodiment of Duke basketball during this era, loved by Blue Devil fans, despised by rival fan bases, and constantly under the national spotlight. His collegiate resume remains one of the most decorated in modern NCAA history. Two-time ACC Player of the Year, two-time consensus first-team All-American, 2006 National Player of the Year, Duke's all-time leading scorer, 2,769 points, and ACC's all-time leader in three-pointers. Redick's junior and senior seasons were historic campaigns defined by relentless shooting exhibitions, off-ball mastery, and intense crowd reactions, both positive and hostile. He was the rare college player who could electrify and polarize simultaneously. But behind the bravado and villain energy that fans projected onto him, Redick dealt with pressure, anxiety, and the emotional volatility of being a national basketball symbol. Those experiences shaped the grounded, introspective adult he later became. House tour and car collection. Redick's lifestyle has always been refined rather than ostentatious. While he has owned multiple residences over his NBA and post-playing career, he became the subject of national news in early 2025, when his rental home in Pacific Palisades was destroyed in the California wildfires. The loss was sudden and devastating, though Redick and his family were unharmed. The incident reinforced his family's focus on safety, community support, and privacy. While public details about his current residence remain intentionally limited, Redick maintains a presence in Los Angeles for coaching responsibilities and also keeps private family property outside the public eye. Regarding cars, Redick has never been an outspoken collector. His tastes lean toward understated luxury, performance sedans and SUVs that match his professional lifestyle. He has never built a celebrity-style garage, preferring functionality, reliability, and safety for his family. As of today, J.J. Redick is alive and actively serving as head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. There is no cause of death to report. J.J. Redick's journey is, in many ways, the story of contemporary basketball evolution. He entered college basketball as a polarizing sharpshooter, entered the NBA as a role player fighting for minutes, and left it as one of the most respected perimeter threats of his era. His post-retirement career expanded his influence across media, analysis, and cultural discourse. And in coaching, perhaps the most unexpected chapter, he found another avenue to blend intellect, leadership, and competitive spirit. Redick embodies the modern, multidimensional sports figure, part strategist, part communicator, part mentor, part storyteller. His biography continues to unfold, but its through line is unmistakable: discipline, reinvention, and the ability to see basketball not only as a game, but as a continuous, evolving craft.